Hey, what's up, everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you don't mind this improvised, unplanned video. It's late at night. I've had a long day at work, so I'm just relaxing, having myself a cold one. And I hope you don't mind. We're going to get a little petty. There's going to be some drama today. But this is the only way I can defend myself. So let's get to it. So let me preface this by saying I try to steer clear of drama and gossiping and all that mudslinging because it's beneath me. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not a 14-year-old girl, so I try to keep Junkyard Fox as positive and entertaining and educational as possible. And I do my best to be a great example. Now, am I perfect? No. But I approach it like, I'm a school teacher, so I can keep it real with you, but at the same time, I'm at my best behavior. I, try not to curse, for example, as much as I can because there's kids watching, whatever belief I may have in politics or religion. I keep them to myself. They have no place in Junkyard Fox. Same thing when it comes to other YouTube channels. Whether I like them or dislike them or, whatever, I keep it to myself because that has no room in Junkyard Fox. However, once again, I hope you humor me. We're going to get a little petty because I was involved in some drama today and I was at work at the time, and now I'm trying to defend myself, and I'm not allowed to. And that tells you everything you need to know about this individual. I'm not going to call him a man because I don't consider him one. I'm a firm believer in free speech. One. Two, nobody on this earth, not myself, not the President of the United States, not the 5th century Emperor of China, anybody. Nobody is above criticism. If someone is lying, being deceitful, being hurtful, doing something wrong, I'm a firm believer they have a right to be called out, myself included. What I don't like is when someone claims to keep it real and, call out posers and liars, and yet they make a post about you and you are not allowed to defend yourself. So I saw a post about me. I answered it as eloquently as possible, not yelling, not cursing, but just, answering his issues with me, and I'm blocked. I'm not allowed to post. So how are you going to claim to want to expose the truth about people when you don't allow people to defend themselves? A distorted truth is not a truth at all. And that's just so pathetic and hypocritical. And where I come from, that's a bitch move. Now, like I said, apologies for my French. I try not to curse on these videos. If you knew me in real life, you know that I curse every 5 seconds. But on my videos, I try not to. But there's no other way to say it. And we all have to address it because he's been a parasite in our community for some time. And someone's got to squash this bug. So this nobody of a channel called Mount Kephart Outdoors, I don't know his real name, he made a post today. And he posted a picture of me. I made a clip, a YouTube short recently, which is like a 1-minute clip, with the Hidden Woodsman bag. And for those of you who don't know, the Hidden Woodsman is a maker here in America. My buddy Malcolm Coder, he makes a lot of designs like packs and haversacks and pouches. Really innovative, creative stuff. Just bringing up the old world mentality with modern day materials, military grade materials. And he does a great job. Now, is everything perfect? Of course not. There's going to be shortcomings here and there, but he'll go back and make a version 2, that kind of stuff. I made a post about one of his packs that I reviewed recently, and it was a short. I have a full 20-minute video explaining the ins and outs, what I like, what I don't like, and then I made a 1-minute clip because YouTube is trying to compete with TikTok on the short video format, right? And so I think it's smart business to make like previews, right? When you go to the movies and you see a 30-second or 1-minute clip of the newest Star Wars movie or the newest Marvel movie, you don't know the full movie. You just get that clip, that 30-second clip of Jurassic Park. You don't know the whole story of Jurassic Park. It just entices you to come back and watch the whole thing. That's how I approach these short clips. So I made a 1-minute clip on this Hidden Woodsman pack for the Rucksack 23. I just said, check out this bag. Here are the features of it. Watch our full review to get all the information. That's how I end it. But this buffoon says, he posts a picture of that clip, the 1-minute clip, and he says, so here's an example of bad content creator syndrome. This bag is poorly designed. Biggest design flaw is you can't fit water bottles in the side pockets, LOL. So what does he do? He just skips that completely and hand carries his water and still tells you it's a great bag. Laughing emojis. This is toxic at its core and why Instagram is a dead platform. This dude has a channel with almost 100K subscribers. I wonder what else he tells people is good when it's complete garbage. As I mentioned, I'm not above criticism. If he thinks I'm completely lying, so on and so forth, he has a right to mention, say his opinion. But here's what I don't like. One, he's focusing on the 1-minute clip and not the 20-minute video. No thing that you can teach on this earth is going to be explained fully and thoroughly in 1 minute. It needs to be explained a little further. These are just teasers. Two, I know for a fact that he watched my video. I know for a fact because this guy sits in his room and does his homework on the dirt he's looking up for people. I can guarantee you he knows that I made that review. But he's not going to mention that because he's cherry picking what he's going to tell his little audience, half-literate audience. I'm at work at this time. I'm busy. And I get a message on Instagram like, hey, did you see this? And so I look at it. And at first, I don't take any slight on it. Okay, someone's going to call me out. That happens. Let me respond. And I think I responded rather eloquently. I wasn't like cursing every other word or anything like that. Was I a little steamed? Yeah, but once again, I address what his issues were. Here's what I wrote. This clip is just a short, something like a preview. Don't expect to have explained everything in less than a minute. I mentioned at the end of the clip to watch our full video review where I do mention my issues with the side pouches, and I pitch an idea for improvement in future versions. Plus, I live in the desert. I always carry an extra water container by hand. It's funny, I recall you raving about this bag like 8 months ago, but once you got a taste of attention by gossiping about other channels like a 15-year-old girl, now you're all anti-Hidden Woodsman. My comment was never approved by him. He never allowed me to explain myself, defend myself. This guy's all about truth and exposing people and stuff like that. But the fact that he's filtering the comments, allowing what goes up and what doesn't, tells you everything you need to know about this guy. And I know I wasn't the only one. I know there was people defending me, and there was people defending the Hidden Woodsman and the pack, and yet he didn't allow any of those. He only kept the comments that were favoring him, that were calling me a phony, that I'm paying for my followers. And this is the part that really, really irks me. The hypocrisy, because this guy used to message me on Instagram like 5 months ago. And he would message me on this very bag, on how much he loved it. Look at this. So I want his viewers to look at who he is. When he's not in the spotlight, this is who he is. A completely different person. Not only that, but he's criticizing that I almost have 100K subscribers. What's up with this? He's congratulating me. And he's a big fan, he's been watching the channel for a while, and, thank you for sharing information. Once again, this is in messages. But all of a sudden, got a little bit of taste of attention on YouTube, and all of a sudden, he doesn't know who I am. I like how he never tagged me. Now I see this fucking fool constantly tagging Blackie Thomas, trying to incite him into an argument or a fight, yet he didn't tag me. Now, Blackie Thomas is taking the high road, not trying to engage with this fucking loser, but I'm a whole different game from Blackie. So I'm going to indulge this fool just this one time. One, if you're going to try to call someone out, let them defend themselves, because this is a coward-ass move, okay? And two, I have literal screenshots of you messaging me on Instagram just a couple months ago, not 3 years ago, not 5 years ago, but just like 4 months ago at most, how much you loved the bag, how much you were a fan of my channel, and all of a sudden you're singing a different tune once you got a little audience. Who's the phony here, me or you? Now, I'm also seeing that he's kind of implying that, I'm bought by someone, if I got a free product, that I'm gonna, everything's great. When in fact, I have proof of myself, where I have burned bridges with companies because they sent me stuff for free, and I said, you know what, I don't recommend it. And these were not cheap things. There was a $400 thermal lens that was sent to me, and after 6 months of testing, I ended up saying no to it.
$399 may be a steal for a thermal lens camera, but to me, it's still too pricey for something that I can't fully trust with my life, personally. So, Infrared, thank you for sending this to us. I really enjoy it. However, I can't really say that I recommend it. Yeah, you guys are onto something, but it still needs to be refined. So,
also a knife that was pretty cool, but at the end of the day, I said it's not worth the price. It's not worth what they're asking for. There's too many design flaws, and I once again said I did not endorse it. So for the price, once again, this I really don't see anybody, really gravitating towards this outside of it being, some kind of backup blade, an emergency kit type of blade. Those companies never contacted me again. And even once again, on my review on this Hidden Woodsman pack, I did address the issues with the side pouches. I mentioned that I had an issue with them. And as a reviewer, as a grown adult with rational thinking, I was able to say, hey, this isn't perfect. I have an issue here. Here's my idea, my suggestion for a version 2. I've gotten to know this bag. I gotta say I love it, though there are a couple of things that I think can be improved upon for a future version. So Malcolm from the Hidden Woodsman has this thing where he constantly goes back to his older designs and kind of updates them or tinkers with them. One issue that I have with it, and I'm not the only one, I've seen some other reviews, are these side pockets. Now, they're not the end of the world. They're not a deal breaker by any means. But when you have this pack fully decked out, it's fully loaded, it's a tight fit to take things out and place them in here. Now, can I do it? Yeah, I can if I really try. But it's just a little bit of a nuisance. And it does get a little old after some time. So, Malcolm, one suggestion that I would have, if this can be made a little larger, but maybe there's like a drawstring to tighten up at the top. And maybe that way, you place a heavier, larger water container, for example, and you can tighten this up. And so is the pack perfect? No. But is the pack complete garbage? Also no. And it's funny how this buffoon of a man claims to be all about American and supporting American companies, but all of a sudden he's anti-Hidden Woodsman? What do you mean? Make up your mind. Where's your alliance at other than yourself trying to get attention, trying to sell this angle that you're keeping it real when you're not? And the saddest part is he's no spring chicken. I mean, he's twice my age. He's like 60, 65 years old. And this is the legacy you want to leave behind? You're making these videos that are going to outlive you long after you croaked, and it's all Jerry Springer, just tabloid content? Like, that's the saddest thing of all. I don't mind being called out. I don't mind criticism. I don't even mind trolls. Sometimes they're funny. What I hate is a hypocrite that's telling me something, in messages away from everybody else, and then all of a sudden he gets a couple of subscribers and he's singing a different tune. And so for the last couple of months, he's been calling out, channels like Blackie Thomas for whatever reason, Corporal's Corner for whatever reason. I don't, once again, involve myself in drama and slander and gossip because I'm a grown man. I don't find those things interesting. In an outdoors channel, I'm looking for outdoors adventures, something that this guy sorely lacks. So I'm going to indulge this fucking buffoon for this one time and once again explain myself here because he's not allowing me to explain myself on his page. But here it is. 1, if you're gonna call someone out, let them explain themselves. We can have a conversation. I would have respected you if you let my clip go and you responded and I could respond back. Even if it devolved into an argument, at least people can read it. But the fact that you don't let it shows how much of a fucking bitch you are. 2, you're 60 years old. Now, there's a lot of trash here on YouTube when it comes to drama channels and spilling the tea and the garbage of the world, human rats like Jeffree Star. You belong in that category. I don't know what you're doing here in the bushcraft and camping community. We're all hard workers. We're doing our best to get by and enjoy the little time we have in the outdoors. He's implying that there's so many phonies out there when all I see is this sad, pathetic old fool of a phony. But I'll leave it up to you guys. Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? I know I'm stooping down to his level and I shouldn't have. But once again, somebody had to address this fucking idiot. But anyways, that's about it for me, folks. I have real outdoor videos to share with you in a couple of days. So I'm just going to enjoy my beer. Y'all have a good night.
So as you can see, it passes the function and the packability test without a doubt. Again, my only complaint, it's really not a complaint, is that it's much, much more than just your average day bag. And it's something that you learn real quick with the Hidden Woodsman and their gear, is that they're always one step ahead of the game when it comes to quality and design. There really is one company on this planet that puts out this type of gear, and that is the Hidden Woodsman. When it comes to quality, design, function, that is the company that everybody should be looking at when it comes to picking up high quality gear for the outdoors. So was the second phase of this worth the hype? Were the things that we looked at and talked about worth the hype? Function, packability? Absolutely.